members, the last has asked for public comments. We've had a request to speak from Jane Wagner-Tyack from Restore the Delta. Ms. Tyack? Ms. Wagner-Tyack, excuse me.
Thank you. I didn't intend to have the last word. It's just kind of worked out that way. And I know you're hungry. I'll be as brief as I can. But I'm interested in the fact that, as Mr. Fiorini pointed out, you really don't have umbrella science yet for this. And my comment begins with the observation that the Stewardship Council has failed, really, with the Delta Plan to act as a steward for the Delta. The plan continues the longstanding practice of the state to avoid making realistic estimates of available water supply. It fails to deal honestly with flow objectives. You're not even going to have those from the Water Board until 2014. It assumes that BDCP will be permitted, and you're relying very heavily even now on the science from the BDCP as you look at what you're going to do with the Delta Plan. There are other proposals that should be considered, such as the reduced exports plan proposed by the Environmental Water Caucus, and others will come forward too, of course. We've already seen several. Restore the Delta doesn't necessarily support those, but we would like to see them all considered. The Delta Plan fails to press for meaningful financial analysis, as others have pointed out. There are going to be costs and economic impacts that are far beyond what beneficiaries will pay for. Certainly with the conveyance that's proposed. The Delta Plan doesn't ensure that existing water quality laws are implemented. Clearly, current levels of exports undermine water quality and impair beneficial uses in the Delta, which, again, you are supposed to be stewards of. And finally, the Delta Plan doesn't reduce reliance on the Delta, as is required by the Delta reform legislation. It should be clear from the Delta Plan that water supply reliability and restoration of the Delta ecosystem will necessitate reduction of exports in the future and stronger conservation measures and development of local water supplies around the state. And our feeling is that by failing to address these issues now, you're really kicking the can down the road, as has been done too often in the past, and that's why the Delta is in the crisis we see today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies, any other requests to speak? Anyone in the audience like to speak who has not submitted a form? Okay. Seeing that, thank you very much. We will see you next month at what date, Mr. Knopp?
The 28th.
28th of February, is that right? Well, don't depend on me announcing it. It's going to be to the end of latter part of February. Okay, meeting is adjourned.
26th.